Hello everyone. Time for another Facebook Live. I think I'm like a minute late because Facebook changed how you find your profile and all that again. So it took me a minute to figure out how to actually get to where I could do a live video. So while you're finding me, let me get this shared to my group in case somebody is looking for it there. We're going to make, this is the last day. Hey Carol. This is the last day of Sale-a-bration, so your last chance to get free stuff. And we're using two free Sale-a-bration products tonight. All right, hang on, I'm just sharing with the group. Almost there. There we go. All right, and I was not live last week, but I left you a video to show you how I made this card that I took to New Orleans for swaps. I went to a leadership conference called Backstage, had a blast, learned lots of stuff. They call it second line, so we were right behind a band in a parade. They closed streets down, and we got to march around, I don't know, 7 or 8 blocks in New Orleans. So that was great fun. They gave us a mask and a parasol. You probably saw some pictures, and I can't remember if I posted the video or just pictures. A mask, a parasol, a boa, and we just marched down the street. They gave us a bunch of beads to throw, so we really had a good time. But this is one of the cards I took to swap, because even though it was a business conference and we didn't have any stamping, we still swapped, of course, because we're creative, so we have to. So I took that for a swap, so I left you that video last week. And then the week before, we did this one live, and this uses the perfect pomegranate set. That is a Sale-a-bration item, free with a $300 order. And then this paper is Rings of Love Designer Series paper, and it was there yesterday. I did not have a chance to check today, but those are both Sale-a-bration items that are gone after today. So I drew for both of these, and I will tell you at the end who won those. But let's get started creating tonight. So the two things we're using, this is called Amazing Phrasing, and it is free with a $100 order, and it's got some great sentiment. And somebody was telling me that you could do, I don't know where there's the G. You could do Woo Pig Suey out of this. That if you stamped these and stamped them just right, you could make it say Woo Pig Suey. I think my friend Patience is the one that told me that. So that's one Sale-a-bration item we're using. That's free with a $100 purchase. This next is a little bundle, and they've done this before. This is also free. Hey, Debbie, with a $100 purchase. So this is called Wonderful World, and hang on, I think I wrote down in my Sale-a-bration brochure what some of these flowers are, because I was watching somebody. English rose, French iris, and German cornflower. So those are those three. And then they listed some other ones that are in the designer series paper, but I didn't get those written down. But that's what these are. So this, for $100, you get this gorgeous stamp set, and then this paper is just, let me pull it out, just beautiful. So it's got some really pretty flowers on one side, and then more monotone on the other, or monochromatic. Look at those. That's an orchid. That's a Cattleya orchid. My parents grow orchids, so, and then just some little leaves. That's the one we're using tonight. Well, pretty pink flowers. Whoops, that's a different one. Yep, that. And I think that's it. Nope, one more. And some smaller flowers with pink on the backside. So really gorgeous paper. I think what I'm going to do with the rest of mine is make some cards for my mom for her birthday. She still mails, writes letters I get a letter from her once a week. She has people that she mails cards to once a week. Hey, Cheryl. And some that she mails to, like, you know, once a month. So I'm just going to make her a bunch of, excuse me, a bunch of cards with this pretty paper because she will love it. She loves florals. All right, so let's get started. I have all of my little pieces. So I will put on my blog, when I'm done here, the dimensions to this. So if you want to create this or something similar, you can do so. And then next week we will have a drawing for this card. Somebody will win this card. Now, next week, I think I'm going to have to be late. I will, when I post the reminder of Facebook Live, I will put the time, but I have a hair appointment next week, and I think it's going to be colored too, so that always makes it go a little bit longer. So I only have 2 things we're going to stamp, and I am going to punch. This is a new punch, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of it. I'll have to look it up. I'm going to do this first so I know where to put my, where to stamp my flower. So I'm going to punch the little hole. It's going to make a hole. So it's got a line right here. So if I wanted to be really precise, I would make a mark on the middle of this, but I'm not going to be. I'm just going to punch. Uh-oh. Did it go through? Yeah, it did. Now, even though this has 3 corners, you don't punch on the corner, you just punch in the middle. And then I'm going to do this fancy corner, and I learned something very important when I was making this. Flip your card over. I don't know if I think I threw away the one that I messed up. Because when I did it the first time, I didn't flip it over, and so I had one going this way and one going the other way, and it was pretty funny. All right, so we've got that. Now we can stamp our flower. So one of the colors on our designer series paper, if you're not familiar with it, it always shows you on the back the colors that are in the paper. And one of the colors is Flirty Flamingo. So when I first started making this, let me grab this real quick and show you. I stamped it on white. And it's beautiful. But it seemed awfully bright, and it didn't really, to me, it didn't go with the card as well. So then I decided to stamp it on the Sahara sand. And I like that much better. So let's stamp our rose. And this is a simple card, and you could do it with all sorts of different sets and designer series paper. So there's our rose. Put this pink away before I get it everywhere. And then we have our sentiment. And I'm doing it in Mossy Meadow. That is one of the colors in the designer series paper. And this just says, I miss you. So we'll see if I can do this. Is always a challenge when you're not right over it. Not too bad. All right, and that is all our stamping. Like I said, this is a super quick and easy card. So let's set that aside. Set both of our pieces aside and start making our card base. So it doesn't really matter because a lot of this is covered up, but I did keep mine. I cut 3 apart and kept them in order. It really doesn't matter since you're going to be putting stuff on it. You're probably not going to notice, but it just made me feel better to do that. All right, so let's start putting these on. And the nice thing about this is since I'm doing it at an angle, you don't have to worry about anything lining up. Should probably not put adhesive on while it's sitting on my card, huh? All right, there we go. There we go. And I'm just kind of angling him, you know, back and forth. One more. And then I decided when I put this tag on here, I felt like it got a little bit lost. And I'm trying to remember where I put the dimensionals, if I put them on, yeah. So I glued, I'm gonna get my liquid glue. I glued the tag to so this is just a vellum circle. It's one of my favorite tricks if you just need a little separation between something and the background. And then I glue the sentiment across here. And then I put this, well, let's tie our ribbon first because that will be easier to do if we do it before we put on the card. So this is actually the Sweet Sorbet. Hey, buddy. Sweet Sorbet twine, but it goes real well with this. I thought it went real well with this Flirty Flamingo stamped like this. So I'm just gonna tie a bow, which you know is also always challenging when you're doing a video. And I want it to kind of be in the middle of this. And because I put the card horizontal like this, I didn't have a lot of room for a ribbon on the top, so that's why I decided just to tie a little bow. Here we go. If I had the card going this way instead, I could have put like a piece of ribbon and tied this around it. But because it was going horizontal, I just wanted this nice little bow on the top. So then we're going to put dimensionals. And so you just want to be sure you stay on the back of the tag and don't go out on the side here, because then you would see them through the vellum. And I liked it. Get my bow to stay straighter. I liked it at an angle. And then I decided, of course, that it needed some bling. So what's better to put on a flower card than little butterflies? So these are the brushed brass butterflies. They're in the annual catalog. And so I put one here, one by the flower. There we go. And then one off in these flowers. So when you're doing embellishments like this, actually I'm going to put on the vellum this time. I think he'll show up a little bit better. When you're doing embellishments like this, you want to do an odd number and then some type of triangle shape. It doesn't have to be like an equilateral. It doesn't have to be, you know, a perfect triangle, but just kind of in a triangular shape. That is supposed to be the most pleasing to the eye. So there we go. There's our card for tonight. Like I said, quick and easy is something you could easily adapt to any other designer series paper or stamp set, but like a really quick and easy card. So I will put on my blog shortly the measurements for all of the pieces that I used here. But let's find out who won the cards. So this is the card from 2 weeks ago, and Debbie won that. Thank you, buddy. I'm glad you liked it. And this is the card that I posted the video on last week, and Debbie won that. So Debbie, you are the lucky winner this time. You've won both of these. So since I'm going to see you at card class tomorrow night, I will give them to you then. All right, I will put a link. I think I had it in another post, but I'll put it in this post too. A link to the order with the hostess code. If you still want to order something tonight for the last chance at Sale-a-bration, I'll put that in the comments. And I think that's it for tonight. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you next week. Like I said, it might be later, but I will be sure and post that when I post the reminder about the Facebook Live. All right. Thank you, ladies, and I will see you next time. Bye.